Hey, what's up guys? So once again, New Balance continues its strategy of releasing a New Balance model in collaboration with a hype brand in order to, of course, build hype and then release its GR colorways. And the sneaker that I'm talking about is the New Balance 2010 in collaboration with Kith. This is the purple blue colorway. And to be honest with you guys, I don't think I'm a big fan of this model. So let's talk about them. So these officially released on May 19, 2025 for a retail price of $160. There was also another colorway that was the black, yellow, and I think it has like a little bit of pink on that colorway. Very underrated colorway, but of course, between the two, these were my favorite ones, and I went with these. You know, the whole story behind this collaboration is that because this is the New Balance 2010, Ronnie Fieg decided to go down memory lane and remember the year 2010, which is the year he decided to leave David Z and basically start his Kith brand. You know, they also decided to launch this collaboration around the time that they were gonna open the Kith Manhattan store. They did a full remodel of that store, and I can't wait to go see that one because now it looks amazing. All right, so the shoes come in an awesome custom box here. You have the Kith New Balance branding here on the top. Nice little design here. I love the Kith watermark on top of the New Balance branding, so that's a nice little detail. I love the color of the box. It's pretty much all black, but you have nice little colors on the Kith logo. You also have this little shade of like yellow on this side of the box, so very nice overall. I do appreciate when, you know, the custom box is cool, so they definitely nailed that. When you open the box, you are gonna have two additional laces. You have the blue pair, and then you have a polka dot pair, and obviously the off-white color that comes with the shoes. You also have a dust bag and like this velvet material, Kith branding there on the front, New Balance branding here as well, so that's much appreciated. And then you have some custom tissue paper here as well. When it comes to the colorway on this pair, you basically have purple, black, light blue, also off-white, and then the gray on the reflective materials. The midsole is pretty much blacked out except the Absorb SBS that's in a purple color. On the outsole is pretty much blacked out as well. You do have the shank plate here in the middle, which is gonna help with the stability, and that is in a translucent material that kind of looks like a light blue color, so that is a nice little detail there. You have a mostly purple insole, New Balance Fieg logo here, and the sock lining is also in a dark purple. When it comes to the materials on the upper part of the shoe, you have a combination of pigskin suede. The underlays is the mesh material. You also have some nubuck here around the toe box area, around the ankle collar, and then also here in this off-white color. The nubuck on these feels a little bit rough, so I don't know, I'm not sure how premium this is, but again, this is not a made in USA or made in UK sneaker, so expect the materials to not be as high end as those other models. You will find reflective materials on the end logo, here on the toe box, and then all the way to the back of the shoe. Some of the cool features that are gonna highlight that this is a Kith collab. Obviously there on the end logo, you will find some Kith branding on the tongue there as well with the New Balance logo underneath. And you also have a New Balance logo here on the back of the shoe. Kind of wish that at least one of them would have had the Kith logo instead of having both NBs. As far as the cushioning system on this pair, the midsole does feature Absorb. And like I said earlier, you have these kind of like gel-like inserts that are the Absorb SBS, which we've obviously seen this similar technology on other New Balance sneakers. All right, so when it comes to sizing and comfort, starting with sizing, I wish I would have done a little bit more research on this pair. I figured I would go true to size with my regular size 10, since typically with New Balance sneakers that are not made in the US, I go with a size 10, like a 2002R, 1906, a 9060. With this pair, I wish I would have gone with a 9.5 because they are a long shoe. You do have kind of a narrow toe box, so you know, maybe if you're someone who has white feet, maybe you're good with going with your regular size, like the same you would go with a 2002R 1906. But if you have, I don't know, a regular foot or not so wide foot, then I recommend you go a half a size down, similar to a made in USA sneaker like a, you know, 992, 993, 990 V3, for example. And to give you guys a little bit of reference, you know, here I have a 2002R that's a size 10, and these are a size 10. And I'm trying to match them as much as I can here. And you can still see that the 2010 just looks a little bit longer, maybe like half an inch longer or a quarter of an inch. So it gives you a little bit of an idea of how long these shoes are, which is one of the reasons why I don't love this shoe that much, but we'll get into that later. And when it comes to comfort with this pair, I think overall they're fine. Probably not the most comfortable New Balance sneaker, but again, it's not like a huge drop off from a very comfortable New Balance sneaker in these. Overall, these will be fine for regular lifestyle. You know, they feel pretty light for a shoe that looks pretty bulky and big. And I think overall they'll be fine. So I don't really have any major complaints about that. All right, guys, so my overall thoughts on these New Balance 2010 Kith collaboration. First of all, as far as the colorway, I think this colorway is beautiful. I think this is a dope colorway. Like I said earlier, between the two, this one was my favorite one, obviously. However, I wish that they would have used this beautiful colorway on a better model. That's just my opinion, guys. And when I saw the 2010, I definitely wanted to try it on, review it for you guys, and give you guys my honest opinion, right? Before, you know, knocking on the shoe without actually trying it. And I have the shoe in hand now, and I'm just not, I don't know, I don't love the shoe, to be honest with you. It's not bad, it's not terrible. I think the shoe has potential, but I think that, you know, the main question I have to ask myself, and this is my opinion, is that if these were not a Kith collab, would I still would have bought a 2010? And for content, yes, I would have bought one to review for you guys, obviously. You know, to keep it, I don't really think I need it in the collection. I think there's better models from New Balance that you can get, especially that you can get on sale. You know, there's 990 V6s you can get on sale, 993s, you know, etc., that are better models and are classic models for New Balance than these. The colorway is nice and everything like that. You know, the materials on these already have some minor QC issues. This is a non-made in USA or non-made in UK sneaker, so is definitely gonna have its imperfections, and you can definitely see this here, especially the midsole, because it's a black midsole. You can see a lot of glue stains on these. Definitely doesn't look perfect. I feel like the midsole kind of looks cheap in my opinion. The outsole also looks cheap in my opinion. I also think the retail price on these is a little bit too high, $160 for a non-made in USA shoe. Like I said, you can buy a made in USA shoe for a little bit more, and you're gonna get a nicer shoe, better materials, etc. That's just my opinion. Just wanna be honest with you guys. Love the shoe and you love the collab and everything like that, great. You know, definitely, you know, go for them. So with that said, let me throw these on, show you guys how they look on feet. So that's it for me, guys. Hopefully this video brought you a detailed look of the New Balance 2010 in collaboration with Kith. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this model. And like always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new, stopping by for the first time, please feel free to subscribe, like the video, comment below. Also follow me on Instagram at GuyandKicks. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.